Greetings, Star Trek Fleet Commanders. I am the Angry Rhino. Maybe a little late, because I know Voyager Part 3 ended, 4 or 5 days ago? Like I said, I've been catching up. So, time for my final thoughts on the Voyager Part 3 month. Now, if you watch my channel, you got a general idea of how I feel about this month's arc. So, before I get to the bad stuff, let me get to the good stuff. Okay, moving on. Time for the bad stuff. That's right. All bad. It's just me, and maybe I'm just a glass half empty kind of guy. Get to my notes. So I usually do 4 sections: officers, missions, events, features. Potentially, if there's an event store month, that either may be an event store itself or a feature, or maybe there's 2 features like this month. So let's get to the officers first. I like the officers. I think Chakotay is a very good Armada officer. And yes, Tuvok, the rare this month, is very niche. Some use on the bridge, not much, but can be a lot of use for him for the Voyager loop, because he does increase the cargo size. Of course, they could have just made the cargo of Voyager bigger, and then you wouldn't need to make an officer to do it. But however, the problem I'm still having with these Voyager officers is there's no sourcing. There's no permanent sourcing. Yes, the events for Chakotay and Tuvok, I got Tuvok. I didn't really do any events that required me to pay for Tuvok, except maybe the $20 battle pass. Now with Chakotay, yes, there was a lot of material spend events, which were much nicer this time. Similar to the way Janeway and the Doctor were ran. You buy packs, you could participate in the leaderboards more. So it's very good for someone like me, but what about everybody else? Okay, so the free-to-play don't get the epic officers right when the month comes out, or right in the month they come out. Makes sense, but when will they get them? We have no idea. I'm thinking never, because how many people got Data or Jean-Luc Picard? And whatever other epic officers are really hard to source unless you were present and did well the month they came out. You can make the best officer in the world, but if people can't get the officer, then what the hell does it matter? What about new players coming into the game? When are they going to be able to get a Chakotay or a Janeway? You did all this field training. Bullshit. Bullshit to someone like me, but maybe to a lower level player, it's nice. So that tells me that the overlords making this game want new players to come into the game. Well, how do the new players source the officers? There's no path or loop to get the officers. So, and you know what? I'm not going to go with a thumbs down because I'm kind of pissed this month. So I'm going to go middle fingers. That's what I think about your officers. Source the damn things. Missions. The missions are usually very easy, and while you do usually get some rewards for them, it's not that much. Why I keep them as a section is they are a staple to a month. Now, I like that they whoever was running the missions this month populated them immediately. So you had the whole 3 weeks or whatever to do the missions at your leisure and collect the rewards from the missions itself and the event itself. The event that populates for completing the missions. The problem I have is, where were the goodies? I didn't really notice any goodies in the missions. And even that event to complete the missions, just didn't seem like there was anything in there. It's possible that I am out leveling these missions and the goodies no longer seem that valuable to me. So it's possible it's just a me thing. Or maybe other players up around my level. Comment below if you're much lower than I am. Did you feel that the goodies from the missions or the event for doing the missions were good enough? Because I didn't think they were good enough. I mean, throw me a bunch of speed ups or something. Give me 1 billion par steel. A lot more than what I've been getting, so it's almost like you don't even care that I leveled up. Events. Again, I think the events were nice this month. It was nice how they have seemed to have gotten away from in years past, how they have sourced the epic officers. This huge leaderboard material spend that you are competing with everybody else around your level. And that's it. More milestone events. More milestone events. Yes, you have to spend more, but you also got more from them. So that is good. I did think there was a nice... Where am I at on my little note sheet here? But there was a nice spread and balance as far as types of events and time spent. But, and I get it that it was only one event, but that PvP event with the stupid Delta Adversary dumb thing, you cannot screw players over that much. I get it. The player should have been paying more attention 30 seconds after reset. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's a valid point. Maybe don't have your miners all throughout the galaxy mining shit tons of materials at reset. I don't know. To me, that sets a dangerous precedent. So what? Don't have your ships out at all around reset? I don't know, man. And it's not even like they could have gone in there at, for me, 12 p.m. and 1 second, gone into the event tab, gone to the event itself, looked up and been able to read the description and back out and recall their miner before they got blowed up. Because one, you know, getting into the events and reading the events probably takes a minute by itself. And you know some people are on that shit and are already in system blowing you up. Or the event name and description says retrieving. And it's not even ready for you to be reading it yet. It happens. And it's fine. I understand that some things just aren't going to be available to you 1 second after launch. It's fine. But you can't put players in a hole by 1,000,000 points. And say, oh, you can climb out of this hole by killing players for 50 points apiece. Well, how the hell are you going to get your 1,000,000 points back? And then do the actual milestones. Now, I kind of lost track of that. I didn't hear if those players that were hugely negatively impacted were compensated in some way. I hope they were. But at the same time, that doesn't affect my grading or my final thoughts, because it's still bullshit that you put the players in the hole in the first place. So, here you go. More middle fingers, assholes. Alright, the feature section. Now I'm breaking this into two parts because there really are two features. They are linked somewhat, but in a lot of ways they are pretty independent of each other. Q trials. I like the idea because it's a lot like combat training that many of us have been looking forward to doing each time we level up. It is a pretty neat and engaging, is a key word, I think, loop or mechanic. But the problem is with the Q trials, you know, the little button, the little red button, target button over here, they're too linked to the building, and the building is slow as shit. Because I'm already done the 1 and the 2-star trials, and so that's it. Well, I'm done until I get the building up to 25, and it's at 11 right now. So while it's nice, there's very little engagement. So how do you grade that as a feature? It's a nice feature when and if you can engage with it. So I spend 10 minutes engaging with it, and that's it, I'm done. For how long? 6 months? Till I get the building up? 15 levels? 14 levels? However many levels? I don't know, man. It's not that great of a feature. So, I won't give you 2 middle fingers. I'll give you 1 middle finger. How about that? It's a little better. Forbidden technology. The second feature. Holy shit sack. This is a god-awful, shitty-ass piece of shit feature. Forgetting how the thing works for a second. It actually made the game unplayable. Wow. Now, I understand mistakes are going to be made, right? You're going to screw up some coding somewhere, and it's going to make things crash. Hey, man, that shit happens. I get it. But I didn't think communication on the issue was that good. And I didn't think compensation was that good either. Yeah, they gave you a bunch of whatever rods, the yellow rods, to unequip the technologies. But how about for screwing up the game so bad for so long? It's at least what, 2 days? 2 days was unplayable for people that had equipped forbidden technology. I think more compensation should have gone out, but however. Now let's get to how the stupid things actually work. And I did go over a lot of this in my What Was You Thinking video. This type of feature is not new to video games in general. An equipable item is kind of old, I think, as a feature. I mean, think about all the games you've seen over however many years you've been playing video games. A lot of them have some kind of equipable item Maybe a one-time use equipable item. It's only good for, let's say, one character or one ship. And the one thing I really hate about them is, and just the feature in general as it pertains to all video games, currency to equip or unequip is not always sourced well. Or it's like the main resource, but they cost a shit ton of it. Like, say, the rods to unlock it for a ship or to unequip it, it costs. It costs to unequip. It doesn't cost to equip, but it costs to unequip, which I guess that makes sense. Oh well. However, it kind of costs a lot compared to how many you get daily. So you can't even unequip one per day. However, man, like I said before, I've quit video games for stupid ass features like that. And let's talk about the upgrading. If you are actively engaged in this community, you probably have heard Ultimate DJs talk about how many days it takes to save up the currency needed to upgrade or tier up or level up or however. And what happens when you fail. Now, he was fronted the currency because he does live streams and he can test and he can advertise it and all that stuff with the feature. Well, I don't think it went that well because, oh, here, spend hundreds of thousands of the currency to upgrade a thing. Fail. Spend more currency to try again. Fail. Oh, spend more currency to try a third time. Fail. Why would anybody want to engage with that? I think it was more like a Jules Verne or a Blue Mandalorian did the mathing out of how many days. It is more their specialty than, you know, anybody else. As a content creator, a lot of us in general are good with math. What were some of the numbers? Like 100 days worth of saving up materials? And he failed 3 times with that? Yeah, man. That's not good. And then you fail. Oh, well, for the next run, it increases your chances by 1%, I think is what DJ said. That's bullshit. And then you look at some of the buffs that they give, which are fairly low. Now, a lot of that is for the free-to-play ones, which you kind of understand that. So, the Overlord did boost some of those abilities. Of course, they boosted them for the paid ones, not the free-to-play ones. Even though free-to-play, if you do the Q trial, I'm pointing over here like you actually, however, if you actually engage with all these Q trials and you finish the 1 and the 2-star, all 6 of them, you get an epic for free. Technically, I mean, you had to spend whatever resources it actually costs you to engage with the feature. They didn't increase that epic. Okay. Sounds like it shouldn't have been epic then. It should have been like uncommon. However, and yeah, I gotta wrap this up because I did kind of go over forbidden technology, but you probably guessed it because I did a what was you thinking on it. Middle fingers all around. I kind of want to give that one like 8 middle fingers because it's a bullshit feature is what it is. And let's wrap up here. Yeah, I don't really need to go over every section. Middle fingers all around. But I think one of the reasons why I'm a little angry this month, maybe a little more angry than usual, and really hating everything that they did this month is you see, even going through the sections I went through, you see the potential there for it to be fantastic. You see the potential for it to be great. At least I have. Maybe you loved it. It's like so close. All you got to do is what? Add sourcing for the officers in the stupid Voyager loop. Is it that hard? Is it that uncommon? You did it with Cerrito. You did it with Mantis. You did it with the Voyager thing. Borg Solo Armadas and Italios. You couldn't do that with this one? Come on now. You put players in the hole in an event. Very little rewards for an event. I mean the missions. Now I understand the missions themselves, but I swear the event was rewarding me a little more. But however. And then the feature. Yeah, no. Honestly, if you just get rid of the... Actually, I mean, with Forbidden Tech, it's a lot. I think if you got rid of the percentage chance to upgrade and tier up, I think it'd be a lot better. You get the currency, you press the button, and the thing level or tiers up. And I think it's probably fixed. Maybe. We'll see how much I want to unequip the things, which I do think the currency either needs to be lessened or they need to farm more of that currency. But however, done today. Time for me to do my little wrap-up spiel. Comment below. What were your final thoughts on this month? I'm curious to see if more people are agreeing with me and saying how bad it was, or if they kind of liked it. Be sure to like and subscribe. I am the Angry Rhino. Shields up, Commanders.